Hey everyone, this is the COBI Leopard 2 tank, the A4 edition. It came out in 2019, this model did, and I bought it off Amazon last year in 2020 for about $55 US. And as of the time of the recording of this video, it looks like that is still the current price in the US or thereabouts. This is a 1/35th scale model, which is good, good to be able to have that standard, and the kit came with 864 pieces. Now, I am not a military historian. I'm also not a tank buff. I'm not able to fully geek out about all the different variations and identify specific individual tank units in the wild and such, but I can recognize the difference between an A4 and a later model. You can tell the overall shaping of the armor, but to me, primarily, this is just a cool looking tank. And I think it's a pretty cool looking model as well. Went together well. There is one mistake here. One part is incorrect. I've had very, very, very good fortune. I think 100% fortune, if not better, from COBI in terms of getting good pieces and correct pieces. And I say, I believe, more than 100% because they often come with extra parts that, just allow you to do a little bit of customization if you want, or just add to your own collection. But this is one case where eagle-eyed observers, will recognize that there's one thing that is just off. But if you're not eagle-eyed, you won't notice it. And there was just a very small part substitution that occurred in there, and I have not tried to get replacements. That's one thing that I think is a detriment of going with COBI as somebody in the US, at least. If you don't have your own pieces, from what I've heard, it's not easy to get replacements from them. As is usually the case with the more serious stuff that COBI makes, there were no stickers involved in putting this thing together. So any of the decorations you see are prints, and there are plenty of them. I will point out that one piece that is off soon, but I wanted to get through just showing you the details up a little bit more closely first. Overall, this went together pretty well. The most annoying thing about the assembly was just getting the smoke canister launchers back here to be lined up properly. You can see they have a little bit of overlap to them, and you just have to get them exactly into the right angle to get them nice and close, and to get them to have the two angles that they need. The upper row is angled in a little bit more, the lower row angled out a little bit. But yeah, beyond that, it wasn't too finicky to put together. When it comes to handling this, I will say that these skirts here are a bit of an annoyance in that you can easily push them in. And if you want to put it back on display to where it looks right, then you need to pull them back out. And there isn't a good kind of stopping point. I don't know why that one keeps going off there. You can see just a little bit of gap, a little bit of improper angle to that one. So it's showing that quality is not 100%. Again, this was a set made a couple years ago, possibly 3 years ago by now. But I'm not trying to hide any of that stuff. I generally have a very, very, very good time putting together COBI stuff, and I'm not ashamed of that. But I will show you when things are not perfect. Lots of prints, lots of awesome pieces, really cool little pieces, like these little light pieces, the transparent parts that get stuck into various points, the different types of grills that they make, including in different colors. It's really nice to get the different alignments there. As far as playability and play value for this, it's pretty much just the usual stuff. The treads are able to move. This does have rubber road wheels in there, so there's a little bit of traction in that. But I'm right now on a very, very slippery surface, and yet I'm still able to get some good movement. The tracks do slide a little bit. You can see right there. But if I move it with any kind of speed, they are able to move, even on, like I said, a very hard, very slippery surface. So that's good. And then, of course, just the turret rotates around, and you have your elevation control of the barrel, and that's just that. But there are more details to see on the inside as well. So if I swing the turret out of the way here, it gives full access to the engine compartment cover, which has just a little bit of building on top of it. And then all of this can flip up. That's not a lot of detail in the engine compartment itself. These can be spun up, but that's just it. I'm actually a little bit disappointed in that, just from being spoiled, honestly, with some of the classic stuff where you could actually build up recognizable things. I love how COBI has so many different inverted tiles available. So this just allows all of these upper modified tiles, including with the texture back here for the fan shrouds, I guess, or covers, to be just so thin, so you don't have the full thickness of going with a whole level of plates underneath here to keep the tiles on top together. Instead, they just have these inverted tiles, which themselves are 1/2 a plate thick, or 1/2 a regular tile thick, or the thickness of a traditional base plate, if you will. That's pretty cool. I always love learning about and discovering new pieces that I've not been familiar with in the past. And let's see, we've got a couple of hatches that can be opened up. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of depth there, so you can stand a figure in that. You can stand a figure in this, but you can't sit them down, and there's no interior space for figures. You can't actually put a driver inside this or anything like that. So let me show you the piece that is wrong on this. It is nice to get those two small prints right there, but wrong is this. This large black slope piece over here should be shorter in height. So it should not cover up the front of the green cheese slope piece, the 1x1 back here. You should be able to see the front face of that. I forget if that's just an optical periscope or if there's a sensor involved with that, or both, but that should have visibility forward. So just this one piece here, I got the wrong one of. Obviously, it's not super noticeable if you're not looking for it, if you don't know what it's supposed to look like. But if you do, then you can't miss it, I suppose. But yeah, that was that. Honest mistake, but we never like to have mistakes like that, especially when it's going to be difficult to find a replacement for that one part, especially because COBI just makes so many different types of pieces. So the likelihood of having a spare of exactly that is very low unless you collect lots and lots of these things. COBI's figures are notorious. I've got to come up with something different to say for this. I always say they're cringy, they're cringe lords. How's that? They're little cringe lords. Does anybody like COBI figures? I haven't heard of any. That said, as COBI figures go, this one is not that bad. It's one of the, I guess, one of the better ones that I personally have gotten thus far. The eyes are a bit weird, but the head overall is not bad. This does not have a hole on the top or any sort of attachment point on the top. It's just completely proper, for a bald style of head. So that's good, and it's printed all the way around to get the gray hair on there. It's interesting that they chose to go with a mechanic for this set, and this is it. This is the only figure included in the set. It comes with that wrench. There's no tank commander, no driver, just a mechanic. So that's different, but unusual. I don't know. What do you think about that choice? Again, myself, I don't like COBI figures, so I don't really care. I definitely don't buy these sets for the figures. Overall, I'm very happy with the value that I got from this set. Again, $55, 864 pieces in total. Everything went together well, except for that one part that was off, but that is unusual. I'll give them a half of a pass this time, but I'll definitely be on the lookout for more incorrect parts or missing parts and stuff in the future. I haven't had problems up to this point, but that one kind of leaves me on edge a bit. Fortunately, it wasn't that big of a deal, but this is a great looking thing. I like it. I'm happy with it overall. I like the color scheme that they went with, and I look forward to getting more COBI stuff in the future, just like I've been getting COBI stuff for fair number of years now. They do some pretty cool stuff with some pretty good prices, although the prices have tended to go up in recent years because quality hasn't improved from the company, generally speaking, and people are buying their stuff, so they can afford to charge a bit more. Hopefully it doesn't go too far, but up to this point right now, I think they're still doing pretty well and providing a nice alternative on the market for folks who like brick-based stuff. that maybe isn't covered so well by other companies. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know if you have anything you'd like to share about this, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.